Godox X3 Pro versus the standard X3. And the real question is whether the extra money buys you something you'll actually feel on a shoot. The Pro adds a bigger screen, an autofocus assist lamp, presets, and a much longer-lasting battery. But it also adds weight on top of your camera, and the smaller X3 already handles TTL and manual triggering just fine. By the end, you'll know which one fits how you shoot. Let's break it down. Let's start where this decision actually gets made, which is mid-shoot, lights already up, and you need to drop Group B down a stop without stopping everything. That's where the X3 Pro earns its name, because the bigger color touchscreen shows 4 groups at once, so you see what every light is doing without menu diving. You get 16 groups to play with. You can push a change across all of them at once or dive into just one. And you can save and recall up to 8 presets, which, for anyone who rebuilds the same 3-light setup every week, is a real time saver. The standard X3, on the other hand, works off a smaller OLED touchscreen, and it's a good one. It's bright, it refreshes fast, and plenty of owners say it feels closer to a smartwatch than to the old button-heavy triggers. But you're seeing less at a glance and doing more tapping to get around, and with gloves on in the cold, it gets fiddly, though the side buttons and dials save you there. And on the Pro, the touchscreen isn't perfect either, since there's an opinion mentioning occasional trouble getting a swipe to register, which doesn't seem to be a widespread thing. That bigger screen has to sit somewhere, though, and that's the part people underestimate. The Pro weighs about 103 grams against roughly 48 for the X3, so you're more than doubling what sits on your hot shoe. I found an opinion from someone who owns both, and their read stuck with me. They wanted the bigger screen and the focus assist. They got both, and now every time they mount it, they catch themselves wondering why they didn't just grab the lighter X3. That's the honest cost of the upgrade. The Pro does use a metal hot shoe foot where the X3 uses plastic, so the build is more solid, even if a stray opinion mentions the mount feeling a touch loose. If you shoot weddings all day with a camera hanging off your shoulder, less bulky on camera is not a small thing. So is the extra hardware doing real work, or is it spec sheet decoration? Mostly real. And one feature carries the rest. The AF assist lamp on the Pro throws a beam that helps your camera lock focus in a dark reception hall. And if you shoot events, that alone changes your hit rate. It also brings a PC sync port for older strobes, half-press autofocus so the trigger behaves like your shutter button, and Bluetooth for app control when your lights are up on a stand you can't reach. The creative shutter control with time-lapse and long exposure sequences is the one I'd file under nice to have, since most portrait and event shooters will never open that menu. The X3 skips all of it and just triggers your flashes properly, which, for a lot of people, is the whole job. Battery is where the gap gets almost silly. The Pro packs a 2,930 mAh cell, good for around 35 days of standby, while the X3 sits at 850 mAh and about 7 days. Both charge over USB-C in roughly 2 hours, so neither one has you buying AA batteries again. And there's an opinion about the X3 that puts the smaller battery in perspective. I used it at a wedding and shot for about 8 hours with flash on and off, and the battery still showed full bars at the end of the night. Charge it before the job, and the X3 holds up fine, but the Pro is the one you can forget about for weeks. Underneath, they're the same animal, since both run the Godox 2.4 GHz X system with 32 channels, TTL, manual, high-speed sync, and about 100 meters of range. The one caveat is that a handful of X3 owners report the odd dropout on specific body and flash combos, so if you're shooting paid work, pair it up and test it at home first, which leaves the money. The X3 Pro is the pricier of the two, though the gap between them isn't dramatic, and that extra goes into the 4-group screen, the presets, the AF assist lamp, the PC sync port, the metal foot, and a battery that lasts several times longer. The X3 costs less and gives you the same core triggering in a lighter, smaller body, without the Pro extras layered on top. Here's the call. For most of you, I'd take the standard X3 because it triggers your lights exactly the same way. It costs less, and it stays out of your way on top of the camera. Where I'd flip that is events and dark receptions, since the focus assist lamp on the Pro genuinely helps your camera lock on. And if you rebuild the same studio setup every week, those saved presets and the 4 groups on one screen pay you back fast. But if you're shooting weddings all day with the camera on your shoulder, the extra weight of the Pro is the thing you'll resent by hour 6. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.